Laszlo, I welcome you to the DN School's webinar. And we have tonight with us Hitesh, Wadhwa, and Jay Podyal, the co-founders of DN School. And we have Laszlo with us, who's the account director at DAN. So Laszlo, can we have your video as well?
Definitely. Just 1 second. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Laszlo. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you all?
Good.
Great to be here.
And hello, everyone, to the participants and attendees. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, perfectly audible.
Hi, Karan. Hi, Swadhi. Hello, Utsav. Hello, Shukur.
And guys, we are also live on Clubhouse, and also once we start the session, we'll be live on Facebook as well. Anybody, if you want to speak, you can raise your hand. Till then, I can allow you to talk. Before we start, we can have a quick chat regarding anything you want.
And be sure Q&A section and anything else in that section.
There's a disturbance in your voice.
It's just a voice.
Yes. So hi, Laszlo. Before we start, can we have your brief introduction or anything, if you have anything to do with domaining, I mean, any portfolio, or how much have you been involved into buying or selling, or if you have been involved?
Yeah, no, it's I've got introduced with the domain industry about 8 years ago.
Okay.
And I was with the company already. So to be honest, I didn't have the time to personally invest into domains that much because I've been dedicating all my attention to you all on the platform, making sure that you could use the platform and sell your domains, of course. But I did have my fair share of experiences from both the buyers and the seller side when it comes to buying and selling domains, of course.
Okay. So do you have any plans in near future to towards buying and selling the domain?
Definitely. I'm actually training my partner right now to to tackle that side of the business, so I could keep focusing on the platform and the domain marketplace itself. Yeah, and I'm trying to educate
that's
friends.
Already on the track.
Yeah. It just requires a lot of attention, to find the right domain, to keep track of the market and the developments in order to find the right domains that you want to add to your portfolio. And I simply don't have that much freedom while working at Dan.com to do that. Plus, I don't want any potential mixed feelings when it comes to promoting my own domains on the marketplace. So I have to rule out that opportunity for myself.
Okay.
How about you?
Great. So amongst the attendees, I request you all, if you all have anything to talk about regarding the platform or anything else regarding selling, you can talk about before we start with the actual presentation and the actual session. Till we wait for some more attendees to join in, and then we can start once you are comfortable. Anybody wants to speak out can raise their hand or type their questions or queries into the chat section or in the Q&A section.
Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine now.
Clear. Voice is clear. Fine.
Yeah. So I don't think we don't have any queries from the attendees side, but I would like you, Laszlo, to brief about what are we actually going to talk about in the section today.
Yeah, that was part of the webinar, but basically we're gonna introduce the viewers to Dan.com, how we came to existence, the history of the company. As it says already, the mission, vision, and the values that we have, just to give a bright idea of what the company represents and what we aim for in the future. But I think more importantly, and which I find more interesting, is how to market your domains. And when it comes to for sale pages, what should you pay attention to? What is important? What have we experienced with clients that is basically a conversion driver for them? And more importantly, what do the most successful sellers do on our platform? So I'm going to give some tips and tricks into optimizing the listings if you use Stan.com as a marketplace in order to optimize the chances of selling your domains.
Great.
So are we still expecting many visitors?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're expecting few people more.
Perfect. Really curious, how many webinars have you done already so far?
I don't know the count, but exactly more than, I think so 100 we have done.
Wow.
100 webinars we have done the last year. That not include the domaining thing, but also the SEO, digital marketing, into photography also, and other stuff of programming also.
I think alone domaining we have done around 60 or 65 webinars.
Right.
Domaining itself.
That is quite some already. I hope I could still find something interesting to talk about that in that case.
So,
yes, definitely.
Hitesh, are you live at Facebook?
Me? I have
Yeah.
not done live. Yeah. How to do that?
Yes.
You are the host. Jesse, you are the host. Please make him the host and to me co-host.
Okay. Yeah, Hitesh, you are the host now. And we are live on Clubhouse as well. So, now, Hitesh, you can start live at Facebook so that we can start the webinar formally. Then after webinar, we will post this webinar on YouTube channel, our YouTube channel. So meanwhile, from the audience, Zoom audience, who have sold any domains with Dan so far? Just say yes. Just say yes. Come on. Yes, Ayub Kheher, master of outbound. Yes. Pradeep, yes. Come on. Couple of more yeses. Yes. Khan M. Nakib Swadhi, not yet. Okay, you would sell after this webinar via Dan. I'm sure of that. Yasin, yes. Shukur, yes. Perfect. Karan, only outbound, right? Shukur, yes.
Jay, it's giving me an error. You do not have the permission to live stream.
Okay.
So I'm making you host, and you go ahead with that. Okay.
Fine.
Now, how to make you host now?
Just make me host. Okay, Sneha Varsani, not yet. Okay, Utsa Suri says that I sold my first domain on Dan.
Very first domain. On the outbound. Well, hopefully we're gonna make some changes when it comes to that.
Okay. And so, guys, just tell me top 3 things which you love about Dan. Come on. Top 3 things which you love about Dan. Come on, guys. BTC, do you accept BTC, Laszlo?
Yeah, they accept crypto, yeah.
Oh,
They accept crypto also and send crypto also.
I mean,
And Pioneer, I have, carry on, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Good.
thing. We accept Bitcoin payments and payouts as well, but the currency is highly volatile, of course, so we have to make an appointment for it. But it's presented, and especially when Dan 2.0 is launched, will make it quite a predominant picture when it comes to it. So everyone knows they could use it as a payment source. But for the time being, we just have to create an appointment or schedule an appointment to make sure that you as a seller don't get a deficit when the BTC value goes down.
Their system is also based on blockchain.
Sorry?
Your system is also based on blockchain, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we've partnered up with IBM to use the blockchain to automate certain processes. Indeed, yeah.
Well, Yasin, the answer to your question is please add Pioneer. Pioneer, you can just add your Pioneer bank details in wire transfer section. So they will transfer your money to Pioneer section, to the Pioneer account, that is the bank account of Euro, and it will be transferred automatically to your bank account from Pioneer.
Correct.
And I love Simon's email. Congratulations, you sold the domain.
Everyone likes Simon, loves Simon actually.
Yeah.
We are live on Facebook as well. So welcome the Facebook audience. Right now, we are with Laszlo from Dan, and today's session is about selling with Dan. Selling is the most lovable thing in the world. Whatever you sell, you enjoy selling always. So guys, people love Dan commission structure, smooth transaction, and their support for crypto, easy to manage names, and Dan interface. And I also, personally saw, improvement of Dan's UI UX. I still remember the, like improvement of channel wise improvement of UX, basically in the perspective of domain investor. Basically, like people said, import feature is too good. Right now we will talk about what you don't like about Dan. 3 things, but at the last, because we will take this thing in the Q&A session so that Laszlo can answer if they are coming up with any feature or so. Now we can start webinar. Divya, we are live on Facebook as well.
Hello and welcome to all of you. Welcome to Laszlo here with us from DAN. He's the account director at DAN. And tonight we are going to talk about DAN, the mission, vision, and its mission and vision, and also how this started, as Laszlo initially briefed about the section that we'll be talking about how all it started, how DAN came into existence, and then how they have improved over time and what is the current features and everything. So before, and we have the co-founders of DN School, Jay Paudyal and Hitesh Wadhwa with us. But before we start, I would like Laszlo to introduce himself, because we would also like to know you as a speaker. Before knowing about DAN and the history of DAN, I would like to know about you and your professional journey and how you landed over to DAN. Over to you, Laszlo.
So my name is Laszlo. I'm born and raised in the Netherlands. I've been working in sales pretty much since I was 12 years old, starting off as a door-to-door salesman with consumer goods. Eventually moved to the sustainable industry with sustainable energy, sustainable cars. I was the one who brought the first sustainable cars and charging stations to the Netherlands. I've been dealing in fiscalists, lawyers, music artists. So I've had pretty much every industry you could think of in order to get familiarized with the industries, with the people, differences in cultures. And then I ended up, after I've lived in China for a year, because I've studied Chinese business cultures as well, with DAN, or actually back then it was called Undeveloped. And then I got to know the domain industry, and I've been hopping from industry to industry because every client group was pretty much bound. They had many boundaries, and it was like that. There was a square. This is where the clients fit in. But when it came to the domain industry, I'm not sure if it's a square, a circle, or a hexagon. There's no end to the differences between the clients that you have from different countries, different cultures, different ethnic backgrounds, different ages. So it's something that doesn't bother me at all. It's something that doesn't end. The adventure doesn't end in the domain industry. So for the years to come, I'll be working at Dan.com and exploring the path into domain selling and buying when it comes to it.
Great. Thank you. And I think your professional journey has been very fascinating, in fact, and also it would be an inspiration to many of those who fear to start and who are actually afraid of exploring things and all. So it would be a great addition to us as well. Now, Hitesh sir, I would like you, as a co-founder of DN School, I would like you to say a few words before we start the session.
Well, thank you, Divya. Well, I would like to say a few words about DAN. The introduction of DAN. DAN was actually founded in 2014 to solve biggest problems that domain sellers face. Thus, by removing all the barriers between sellers and buyers of undeveloped domains, that is, unused domains, over the years, DAN has grown to become the seller's first choice to list domains, ensuring easy, safe, and secure transactions and transfers. I remember I signed DAN in 2017, though I started my domaining career in 2016, professional one actually, though I was involved in domains and hosting before that. Personally, I have an awesome experience with them. Never faced any difficulty in any sale and their support has been like quick and responsive for me. And like I will say that their user interface is very decent and clean. That is, they have very simple landing pages. Like I'm easily able to locate the option menus and links to manage my settings and domain. It's very easy, like as compared to their like competitors. Sellers can list their domains one by one and also do bulk updates by uploading a CSV file. Simple as CSV file, you make a CSV file and upload it, and all the changes you can do at once. Also, you can do one by one also. Sellers also get option to multiple options to sell, lease, and rent their domains. Sellers have option to get paid for the sales in multiple currencies like USD, Euro, Pound, and also crypto. One can also withdraw the amount through their bank wire transfer, crypto, and PayPal. I told how to basically integrate your Pioneer, and in case anybody needs that help, I will explain it again. The main thing I like about Dan is like they have a for each listed domain they have a customized landing page settings. Fine, you can put description, you can put starting offer, you can put like your Ben also. You can mention that domain was previously sold or not also. Fine. Apart from that, you can also send a domain as a brand package. Under this package, you can upload the domain logo of the company data. You can put the social handles if you are selling the social handles along with that, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I don't know if they have integrated like Pinterest and LinkedIn also. Change the background colors. You can change the background colors to, I think so, blue, green, and purple if I'm not wrong. And but I think so basically to match their logo color to the logo color, they should introduce, like, we should also customize that background color, and also have a facility to add background image to the domain, to each domain. Okay, I think well, the features list and is actually huge. They have a plethora of options to control settings, interface, and landing pages. So if you log into Dan, you will see it and will experience it. And I know that a lot of people are already experiencing that. So that's it. I would have to say about Dan. I think so. So over to you, Divya, back.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, Jay, sir, would you like to add something?
Yeah, hi. First, I would like to welcome our attendees from Facebook, Clubhouse, and Zoom. Right now, we are live on 3 platforms. Laszlo, you can say hi to all of them.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be here.
And see, Hitesh almost talked about every feature of the Dan, right? I mean, so, but Laszlo, we are not saying, bye to you. So, see, what I wanted to say is, I think in my opinion, Dan had set a benchmark. I mean, how a landing page should be, how a platform should be, how its simplicity, its UX and UI basically. Okay, and in the starting, I have a question with you, Laszlo. What is Dan? Why is Dan? DAN? Any abbreviation of anything?
If we keep this up, then I don't have to give the webinar anymore, I think, because we give everything away. But Dan, we've chosen the name not because we have an employee called Dan. We actually get that quite often. No, because we've introduced many automation within the industry. And we had quite a long name. We decided to reduce it to 3 characters: Domain Automation Network.
See, for me, it is Domain Achievers Network, basically, or Domainers Adorable Network. Okay, so now we can start, Divya.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Hitesh. Thank you, Laszlo, for being here. And now it's the time to begin with the section. So over to you, Laszlo. You can share your screen here.
Thank you. And there we go. Okay, so first of all, I would really like to thank you for the opportunity to participate in this webinar. I really like to thank Hitesh and Jay for the kind words. I'm going to try to make it as interesting as possible, even though a lot of great things have been said already. So we're going to start off with a little bit about the company, how we came to existence, what we aim to do, what we stand for, and where we're going from there. But more importantly, which I find more exciting, is how can I help you guys, give some tips and tricks into optimizing your accounts with us. And if you list domains for sale, what you should really, really pay attention to, as they are conversion drivers for you guys. So, as I said during the introduction already, then started off as undeveloped. And we've chosen the name 7-8 years ago because we found that too many domains were unused, too many domains were unreachable, and we made it our mission to make these domains developed. So we started off, we gained more and more clients, we gained more traction, and eventually started to notice that the industry was quite rusty, if I may put it like that. The sellers that we had gave ideas, asked for features, which were quite normal things in our opinion, but the industry giants considered them not as important, or perhaps quite unreachable, or perhaps impossible to create. One example would be the installments purchase, for example. Any product that you buy online, nowadays you could actually buy in installments if you don't have the budget to pay it outright or don't want to. The domain industry itself, there were a lot of requests for these changes and they've never got implemented. And we gladly made use of this opportunity to make a name for ourselves. So we started off with, as Hitesh said, that we use the blockchain as well. We started a partnership with IBM where we introduced a lot of process automation and efficiency within the domain industry. One example would be what we've done, would be reducing the payout time to 24 hours after the domain was delivered, or perhaps a domain delivery once the deal is reached could be already be done within a few hours to 24 hours on average, as opposed to the previous industry as an average of 3 to 5 days. So with these changes that we introduced into the market and all the automation that we brought, we had to rebrand to Dan.com, which is again the domain automation network, because it fitted our path. Now, the mission that we had was imposed and remains unchanged. We wanted to make sure that all unused domains were accessible to all, meaning that if you're an entrepreneur and you want to buy a domain name for your company, you should be focusing on what you do best and leave the decision-making process for purchasing the right domain, finding the right domain for your project up to the specialists, which would be Dan.com. So we could take care of it. And on the seller side, we wanted to make sure that we provide each and every one of you with the right tools to become successful within the market, build your own domain company, maintain and grow your company. In order to do that, we had the vision to remove all the barriers. As many of you know, the domain industry was quite difficult in the beginning. It was difficult to find the right domain. It was difficult to find the owner, let alone it was difficult to find safe means to purchase a domain once you've reached an agreement. We wanted to make sure that all the barriers prohibiting buyers and sellers from interacting and dealing with each other got removed completely. And even though we've done quite some already, we're still working towards removing all the barriers in full, but it requires time to achieve that. Now, in order to achieve that, we have to look at one of our most important core values that we have, and that is that we demand excellence. And we don't demand excellence only from the platform or the features that we launch. More importantly, we demand excellence from each and every team member and link that we have within the company, making sure that the service we provide are top-notch. Each and every team member is basically a family member of each other, who stimulate each other and try to help each other excel each and every day, which is also one of the reasons why we were able to grow this fast as a company and as a marketplace. Now, that you know a little bit of the background history of Dan.com itself, we're going to move over to the best practices, what we suggest as a company, what I personally have seen as the best practices. And besides the fact that I'm going to give you 2 options, which are most frequently used by our best performing sellers, I'm also going to give a few indicators that you at any time should focus on. And Hitesh already mentioned quite some of it. But when it comes to landing pages, you have to make sure that you add a nice background picture. There's nothing more of a deal breaker than a dull for sale page, for example. If you add a nice background image that is not too distracting, not too screaming, but only complementing your domain name, it becomes more appealing to me as a buyer to purchase that domain outright instead of looking for something else. You could see it basically everywhere when it comes to commercials or presenting a new car. The background picture is always something that complements the product and is actually the extra step or push that a client needs to purchase a domain. More importantly, you have to make sure that you inspire trust. And both Dan.com and its users could both put in an extra bit of detail to make sure that that trust no longer plays a deal-breaking role when it comes to it. The domain industry is quite a gray area, of course. You never know who you're dealing with. You never know who's on the other side of the computer. You don't know who you're going to buy a domain from. So why not make sure that everything within your landing page is already giving some indicators of who I, as a buyer, am dealing with while buying a domain from you. If you look at the for sale page that I put in the example, you see that from our end, we've made sure to add a Trustpilot review that we have been building up over the past years. 2,500 reviews on average with a 4.8 on average by head. It's quite a decent score and already is a known review platform. So that's a major indicator that you're dealing with a legitimate platform. When it comes to the seller, we've introduced the Meet the Seller boxes, which is optional. You could always deactivate them if you want to, but we recommend not doing that. Why? Because it's a key player when it comes to building trust. When someone visits your page, you want to make sure that they buy the domain outright because they know through your profile picture who they're dealing with. You give yourself as a seller a certain image, avatar that you create, so it's more personal when I'm talking to you or buying from you. As Dan.com, we've made sure to also indicate when the last time you were online on the platform to show if you're a really active seller or not. When you've signed up to see how long you've been with the platform, if you're a verified seller or not. And this mark is given when you've sold 5 domains successfully through the platform. But more importantly, the average response time. We've noticed that many buyers also focus on how fast they can get the domain. So it's important for you as a seller to make sure that your push notifications are activated, because when an offer comes in or a purchase comes in, you want to act really fast to make sure that they get the domain fast, you get your payout fast, but more importantly, that your average response time is really low. So a buyer knows I could expect a response to my offer or purchase within a matter of hours already, instead of having to wait for 24 hours or longer. The last thing that I really want to add to that is, and again, Hitesh, thank you for bringing this up. We cannot stress the importance of using your descriptions. To give you an idea, we've been dealing with quite some buyers who came by stating, why is this domain listed for $15,000? I could register any domain that I want for just $20, $30 at most. Why would I buy it for $15,000? If someone is visiting your landing page and sees a buy now price without an option to make an offer, you could already use the description to educate the buyer. You could do it in 2 ways, actually. You could use the description to tell something about yourself as a seller, give them an idea that they're dealing with a reputable company, or you could share comparable domains to show what other domains in that same category sold for in the past, in order to illustrate why you have a certain asking price. Make sure to, regardless of any setup that you have, to always customize your pages. So, as you can see in the example, which also is a giveaway when it comes to the best converting setup that we currently see on the platform, it would be a buy now price combined with a lease to own option. Now, I'm sure that many of you already have used the lease to own, but I'm still going to explain a little bit as to how it works and why it is important. The lease to own option enables a buyer to pay for a domain such as this one for $15,000 spread over a fixed series of months. By doing so, you make sure that also smaller companies can buy the domain or buy a premium domain to start their business with. When they buy a domain, we guarantee the safety for both the buyer and the seller. What happens is once one term is paid, the domain is transferred to our holding account and it will remain there until the balance is paid in full. The buyer is given access to a so-called buyer control panel, which they could use to interact with their dedicated transfer specialist, submit any desired DNS changes in order to use the domain right after the first payment already. and perhaps to pay off the balance prematurely if they already gained and earned their investment back before the balance is paid off in full. We make sure that we have a dedicated team of account managers available for you to ensure that you don't have any work besides transferring the domain to our holding account. We process the payouts, we process the DNS changes, we process the chasing of payments in case a payment deadline is missed. We pay out on a monthly basis. We reduce the monthly payment by our 9% commission, making sure that you only pay a commission over each term that is paid by a client. So why do we stress that you need to add the lease to your listing option? It's basically a win-win-win situation. It's a win for the buyer, win for you as a domain owner, and a win for Damn.com. And starting off with the buyer, as I said, you enable small companies, startups, scale-ups to start or instigate their business with a highly premium domain because they could pay off the entire sum over a total of 2 to a maximum of 16 months. And it might sound a bit long to have a client pay off 15,000 over 5 years, but as I said, the majority of them are paid off in full prematurely because they've already started to generate income and no longer have to spread the payload. The win for the sellers, which is the most important one, especially this webinar, would be threefold. First of all, by enabling startups and scale-ups to purchase a domain through a lease-to-own model, you significantly increase your potential target group. Obviously, a larger target group also increases your chances of selling the domain, so strongly recommend it. Second win is that you could start generating a stable income, recurring revenue on a monthly basis. If I sell a domain, or perhaps 3 domains in an installment plan today, I sell another 3 next month and another 3 the month after, I gradually start to make sure that for the months to come, I have an increased, steady, recurring revenue, making sure that I get more and more income on a monthly basis, and I'm insured of a fixed income when it comes to it. No longer have to wait for any outliers to come by, but more importantly, you could reinvest any of that monthly income into expanding and building your portfolio. A larger portfolio logically also ensures a higher income, as long as you make sure that you buy quality names, of course. The last win, which also happens to be a win for us as a company, is by providing this flexibility, and only this flexibility, you can earn a markup on top of your asking price with a maximum of 30%. You can see it breaking down already below. 0 to 12 months is 0% because that's the normal installment plan we used to offer. 12 to 24 months is an additional 10% markup on top of your asking price. 24 to 36 months, 20%, and 36 to anywhere between 26 and 60 months is 30%. Now, if you sell a domain for $10,000 and you perhaps grant an installment plan of 36 months, you earn an additional $3,000 on top of the asking price. And the beauty of it is that 50% of that markup is going to you directly as a seller as a net profit. The other 50% is used to renew the domain, and the remainder is reinvested into research and development by us straight away, making sure that we can continuously innovate and provide new features and services to you as a seller. To give you an idea of what it looks like for the buyer, once you select the lease to own option, you can see what you're going to pay on a monthly basis. In this example, $325 over a fixed course of 16 months. So that's the next 5 years, I'll get $325 a month for only this domain name. They see the number of months. If desired, they could go for a price overview, have the cost list breaking down in order to get a clear picture of it. And to relate back to when I said that trust is a major issue within the industry, we also indicate what they can expect. It's a free ownership transfer, free transaction support, and more importantly, what secure payment methods they could use. Now, in this example, you see Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, which are presented at any given time. But depending on where you are located, we also show the most frequently used payment methods for that region. For example, if you buy from China, you see WeChat Pay or Alipay as a potential payment option as well. In the second image, you see that there is an option to combine the buy now price, lease to own, and the make offer. This is only for DAN 2.0. Up until now, with the current model, we didn't do it. And later on in the presentation, I'll further elaborate on that as to why we've made that decision. The second option, which is most frequently used on the platform, is the combination of a buy now price and a make offer. If you're really good at negotiating and convincing or educating buyers, we strongly recommend to use this option. First of all, the buy now price would have two potential purposes. One would be stimulating a buyer that wants to bypass negotiations to purchase a domain outright and head for the purchase straight away. The second purpose is give an indication of what you are looking for as a seller, which will serve as the basis of the negotiation. The beauty of it is that you as a seller could decide what your minimum starting offer is. If you have a domain of $15,000 and it's worth it, you don't want offers to come through that starts from $100. You want to make sure that all the lowball offers are blocked from making an offer. And then we recommend adding a price something in the range of 5,000 as a minimum starting offer to rule out all the lowball offers and make sure that only the highly qualified leads would come through in order to negotiate with you. Once an offer is submitted, you could start writing in text and convey with the client in order to substantiate the need for a specific price, indicating what comparable alternatives have sold for, asking them, and that's something that I see all too often, asking them why they want this domain, what they intend to use it for, because identifying what they want to use a domain for can give you an idea of what budget they might have for a specific domain. So always ask the open questions to gain information in order to see what USPs you can use and educate and convince the buyer into buying your domain. Lastly, there are 6 pillars that I always base my advice on when it comes to new domainers on the platform. If you're looking at the landing pages, these are the conversion drivers when it comes to it. First of all, a page has to be clear. A buyer has to know with just one blink of an eye by looking at your landing page what the price is, what domain they're going to buy, who they're going to deal with, what to expect from the buyer in terms of response time, what to expect from the facilitator, Dan.com in this case, in terms of processes. When it comes to an installment plan, everything should be presented on the for sale page in a concise and brief way while still being really clear. More importantly is you have to inspire trust. As we said, the domain industry is quite a gray area. There's still, unfortunately, some things happening from time to time when it comes to stolen domains. So you have to make sure that people know who they're dealing with, that you inspire trust as a platform, but also as a seller. So they feel comfortable enough to purchase your domain outright instead of having the need of verifying if a platform is trustworthy, if a seller is trustworthy before proceeding. By making sure that you inspire trust, you reduce the decision-making process significantly, increasing the chances of selling. No distractions, really important. I've been boarding some sellers recently who had used their own pages or used alternative platforms without mentioning any names. And these landing pages had too many bright colors. They had moving objects on the landing page itself. It showed alternative domains without them being part of the own seller's portfolio. They had backlinks on it, or perhaps even some articles. All these things are detracting the focus of your client away from what they initially came to do, namely buying your domain. You have to make sure that it's a clean page, that everything is clear, and that there are no distractions whatsoever. The focus is on the domain name, and it has to remain on the domain name. Some platforms offer this as a paid service, which we still don't understand, but we have found that it's really important that the pages are secure. As a result of it, we have been offering free SSL to all users on the platform who park with us. And once you change the name service, it only takes 48 hours before they generate it. We'll take care of everything, and when they expire, we'll renew them for you as well. One of the last points is the fast loading of the landing pages. Well, as domainers, you already all know that a fast loading page is something that is really required, because you don't want a potential buyer looking into your domain having to wait 5 to 10 seconds before a page loads. As a result of it, we have one of the fastest loading landing page within the industry, and we'll keep working towards keeping that the fastest loading pages in the industry. Final point is make sure that you're to the point. Don't overshare. Don't write an essay of a description when it comes to it. Make it really clear. Make sure that the pages are really clear. And during the negotiations, make sure that your expectations are really clear as well. Too long of a negotiation often is a deal breaker. Too much information is something that they will read. And if they stop reading on the page, they might overlook something that is key in their decision-making process. So make sure that your landing pages are to the point. And now I would like to invite you to ask some questions about the practices.
So to all the participants who have any questions, please put it in the Q&A section. Well, Laszlo, I have a question for you. I'm a developer by profession, actually. So if I want to build my own domain market, okay, domain seller market, I want to basically integrate it with that DAN API or something like that to make receive the payments and all. Is it possible?
It will be.
I don't want the person to basically click on the link and go to the DAN landing page, but it should be something directly check out from my website.
Definitely. No, it's we have the integrator API, and we've released the beta.
Okay.
So you could see it on the MWE, for example, or FT. They use the integrator. They have a buy now button, only using our checkout service that we have.
Directly to the checkout. Yeah. That's what I'm asking.
Once the beta version is done, we'll release the medium version. Sorry, can you hear me? Yeah.
No. I missed the part.
Okay.
You're not audible to me. Yeah, your voice is breaking actually for me.
Is this better or?
Yeah, this is better. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Go ahead.
We have the beta integrated version, which is an API that we've launched. We're testing with FT and DNWE, for example. They use our checkout service only, and soon we hope the medium version, which can be used by the market to build their own shop and use their own shop while our checkout service. So you no longer have to import these leads anymore by that time.
Okay, got it. And you guys hardly basically put your sales on name bio. But when I go to your DAN homepage, I see only 5 transactions. Even I go to export transaction explorer, I can see maximum 6 transactions actually. Because one is for the sale, one is for the payment, third one is for transfer of domain. So how can I basically view all the transactions being done in a single day or in a week? Is it any API or some link to that?
No, not yet. No, we're looking into it.
Not yet.
Our sellers still ask to keep it private, so we have built the option to keep the sales private already, but we're still looking into the option to get this released on main bio, for example, as well, to make sure that the details are public. Yeah, but not yet. No, we have to updating. You could use that to check the sales that come through that can be made public.
But as a developer and domainer, I need that to track the. Yeah. Otherwise, I won't be able to.
If you get released, or we have a form of publishing sales, then I'll make sure to let you guys know.
Yeah. Thank you. Over to you, Devyang. You can take the Q&A from the Q&A section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I request the participants to type your questions in the Q&A section to make sure that I don't miss out anyone, because I'll be looking at the Q&A section directly. So make sure you don't type it in the chat. So first question we have from Fatin Khan. Why doesn't Jan verify domains while adding? For this, anyone can add any domain if it doesn't have the domain, I guess.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, we wanted to produce a low barrier platform. Logically, when someone doesn't own the domain, they cannot deliver the domain, so there's no threat for the buyers there. More importantly, we have our own verification method. So as soon as a domain is added, we go through our own process, and if we find that someone is adding domains that doesn't belong to them, we make sure that they can't use our services anymore. So we're really vigilant when it comes to it. And from an ethical point of view, you simply shouldn't be adding any domains that don't belong to you. There's no benefit to gain from it at all.
Okay. So we have next question from Ayub Kehes. I always sell domains doing outbound for Canadian people, and most of them want to close deal using Canadian dollar. Can you add this currency also to your system so we can close deals using Canadian dollar?
Yeah, I would very much like to say that we can add it, but up until now, since we started the company, we've always made sure that everyone can add any feature request or addition to the platform. So simply reach out, and you don't have to do it now because I'll write it down, but reach out to our support, ask for a feature request, and if enough inquiries are made by the users that we have on the platform, we always make sure to introduce it. But so far, I think I could count them on one hand when it comes to sellers asking us to add the Canadian currency as a currency model on the platform.
Great. We have next question again from Ayub. Do you accept virtual banks such as Payoneer and PaySida?
Payoneer, yes, but we only have it for the EU market, and we might change it in the near future to offer to the US payments as well.
Okay. So we have next question from anonymous attendee, Bodis and Dan. How good is it going?
Quite good, actually. Yeah, it's the first time we've done this, of course, in collaboration with Bodis, because many people wanted the PPC pages. But we did notice that still a lot of improvements, area and room for improvement. So we're working on getting these fully optimized now that we've launched the initial hybrid phase, if I may put it like that. Have you used it already, anonymous attendee?
The next question is from Sam. Can you please talk about Dan monthly view? Does it mean how many times potential buyers are visiting my page?
Yeah, definitely. It depends on where you're looking. So if you look in your portfolio, you see the total amount of views for that specific month. And these are all unique visitors. So we're working really hard on deleting bots on a daily basis. So you could consider it pretty much clean data that you're getting. But within that section, you see the total number of views that you have over your total portfolio. And if you go to your portfolio section, you see a number of views on a monthly basis, but they actually represent the average amount of views per domain over the past 30 days that you had with us.
Next question is from Next question is from Shukul. When can we expect Dan will be available to users?
I wish I could give the news to you guys already. We've been waiting on Dan 2.0 as the account manager department quite vigilantly, and we've been trying to give an estimate to all the users that have been asking us frequently. Without putting a pin on it, I hope it's going to be done by the end of the month. But again, we want to make sure that it's excellent once it's launched. So we're still working, and the product team is working severely and intensively to make sure that everything is optimized before we're going to release the Dan 2.0.
Next question we have from Utsav. In case of chargeback, do you take the loss at your end or ask the seller for the refund?
This depends fully on the situation. So it's something that we review on a case-to-case basis. If it's something that the seller can't do anything about, we always make sure to take care of it. But in some cases, you do see it's a chargeback because the seller didn't deliver everything they promised to deliver. And then, of course, we ask for a refund. But in the majority of the cases, I've only seen that we always protect the sellers because, yeah, we pretty much have quite clean and ethical customer base when it comes to it.
Next, we have a request from Yasin. He says that to ask Dan and to add an option to link Payoneer in the method of payment directly.
Add an option to link Payoneer in your method of payment directly. If Yasin, if you could send an email to laszlo@dan.com with the exact feature request you have, I'll make sure to add it to the list. Not saying that it's going to be released shortly, but I'll make sure to bring it to the right people.
But Yasin, the easiest way is to basically log into your account, go to the wire transfer section and put your Payoneer bank details over there. Okay, the Payoneer one, which they give you the virtual bank account details. It's very easy. It's hardly 4 fields and you have to fill that.
But like I said, right, we already have it for the EU payouts.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, we have to enable it for the US payouts as well. I'll make sure to relay it to the finance department. But again, it's not my area of expertise, and I cannot guarantee it will be released or produced shortly. You're muted, Divya.
Sorry. So I have next question from Ayub. Do you have lead option for bulk domains, not only for one domain?
No, the bulk import does only work for a domain per domain basis because initially we were solely focused on end users. We can perform bulk sales for you guys. You simply just have to reach out to our support desk and we'll ask a few questions to get a detailed insight. And our account managers will personally guide you into setting it up with them.
Okay. So again, next question from Ayuba again. When will Dan have the distribution just like Aftenic and Fido does?
I wish I could say this again. I feel ashamed that I can't give any specific dates or whatsoever because we simply don't have them. But we're working on something else, which is called the unused domain pool, which basically will revolutionize the market and bypass the distribution Aftenic and Fido are offering. That's all I can say about this, unfortunately.
Your voice is breaking.
Is it still the same?
Yeah, Laszlo. Your voice is breaking between. We are not able to hear clearly, actually. We hear some words and some words are mute, actually.
I'll fix this.
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah, it's good.
Perfect. The question, yeah, sorry. I was referring to the unused domain pool. So we're working on something that will revolutionize the market when it comes to a distribution network. And I'm positive that once it's finished, it will bypass the distribution Aftenic and Fido offer at this point. But it's under construction and it's part of one of the 3 APIs among the integrated API that we launched that we will release in the near future. Basically, it will enable all platforms, being it you, for example, Hitesh with your own company or Fido or any other that has a specific portfolio for offer, that they could link to the domain pool and all collectively offer each and every domain available that is connected to the same network.
So next question is from Utsav. He says, can we expect 24/7 support from Dan too?
Yeah, no, it's we're still no. No. Might have noticed throughout the months we've been really expanding, but we've been growing really fast as well. And like I said, our team is like a family, a tight-knit family. Everyone knows each other. Everyone demands excellence from themselves. So we're really hard when it comes to the hiring process. We've hired US support recently to make sure that at least the US customers get served as well. We're looking into another US support to make sure that we can provide support 24 hours round the clock. We also offer support on the Saturdays since this year and last year, and Sundays as well. Even some transfer processes are processed during the weekend. So we're working towards the 24/7, but it's going to take some time to get the quality service that we want to provide.
Okay. So we have one more question. We have next question from Shukur. It says, is MX card accepted by Jan now? As I had issues with MX payments with clients.
Yeah, no, we used to offer American Express as a payment option on the platform. This also relates to the refund question that was asked before. We stopped offering American Express because we noticed that even after 3 months of delivering the domain, the buyers could still charge back their payment without filing any dispute. So for the seller, but especially Dan.com, it's quite a risk to offer this payment method. And we're no longer going to offer it until American Express is going to review their chargeback policies to make sure it's safe for everyone to offer. But like we said, we have many alternatives. They could pay with Bitcoin, PayPal, WeChat Pay, Alipay, Visa, MasterCard, Payoneer, SEPA. We have so many options available that there should always be an opportunity to pay for your domain.
Next question is from Ayub.
Good question.
Do you accept payment using PayPal for all amounts, or there is maximum, let's say $5,000? Because one of my friends wanted to close a deal for $1,500, but Dan said it is not possible.
That actually is the threshold, $1,500, when it comes to PayPal payments. Yeah. So we do offer it. It's allowed to pay above it, but we often ask to process it differently. But the system automatically closes it off after $1,500. Yeah, and that's for the same reason that we no longer offer Amex. The chargeback policy for PayPal is quite easy and favorable for the buyers.
Okay. So I think we are done with the question answers so far received. So guys, if you have any more questions, you can type it in the Q&A section. Till then, Hitesh, do you have any more questions with Laszlo? And if we can see, Jason, you're live on the Clubhouse. So if you can check out if there is any question from the Clubhouse as well. And I'll check with Facebook.
Yeah.
So far, we don't have any questions.
We have another question, Divya, from Swadhin from Bangladesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have another question from Swadhin. That is, as I am from Bangladesh, we don't have PayPal. We have credit cards, but we have limitations per transaction, maximum $300. So if I'm going to buy any domain, which is priced like $1,000, so I have to make 3 transactions. Do you guys have any plan for this type of issue?
We haven't encountered this before, no. So we don't have a specific plan, but basically, no, it's not an option at our platform. So again, if you contact our support, I'm sure we can find a way to get that payment process for you in a normal way and in a good way. But yeah, we cannot bypass the limitations the credit card companies in Bangladesh has, of course. So If you could pay through Bitcoin, perhaps, or any other payment method that we offer, we could always facilitate. And otherwise, we'll review the situation with you, finding the right solution, enabling you to pay for the domain you want to purchase.
Okay. Next question is from Ayub. A lot of my audience from Algeria are using Paysera, which is a virtual bank from Lithuania. When they try to receive payment in Paysera, the payment is always rejected.
Okay. But what exactly is the question in this case?
The question must be, I think, regarding Paysera. If you have anything, why does this happen? Why is the payment rejected?
I'm not familiar with Paysera, to be honest. I might have to read it.
Laszlo, like Paysera is also provides a virtual bank account for the country like Lithuania. Okay, so he's asking basically whenever they try to receive a payment from Dan, the payment is rejected by Lithuania. So there must be some problem at Lithuania, I think so, not from Dan.
Got it. I see Ayub also elaborate on the question. Thank you, Ayub, for that. No, we don't have anything in the making when it comes to this, but I've written it down for you, making sure to put it on the list for the finance department as well. As I said, if enough inquiries are made for this payment method, we'll always make sure to add it to make sure that it's no longer a blocker or a barrier for your clients to purchase the domains or get the payouts, of course.
Okay, so Ayub made the question clear. He was asking if you accept Paysera as a payment because this is a virtual bank account, just like them.
Yeah, no. So I'll make sure to relay that for you. No problem at all.
A lot of African people are basically using Paysera, so you have to basically capture that also.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Still consider it, yeah.
So if any more questions we have, we can take it. Any question from the clubhouse or Facebook or the attendees, if you have any more questions. We do not have any questions on Facebook as I checked as of now. In total, we had 68 attendees, including.
You can come live and ask also via video. I mean, audio.
Yeah, anybody, if you want to speak out, if you want to talk, you can raise your hand. I can allow you to talk and you can talk over your queries if there is any. Apart from this, we had on Clubhouse, Facebook, and Zoom, including we had total 68 attendees in total. And then further, we are also live on Facebook. Apart from this, we'll be posting this video on YouTube as well, so you can watch it anytime. And we have viewers there as well. So anybody, if you want to speak out, any more questions with Laszlo, I can allow you to talk.
And if it later comes to mind, you could always contact me through support@dan.com or through the chat. Or if you sign up recently, just ask me. I'll help you optimize the account, or one of the teams will help you further.
So we have Vivek here. Vivek, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Hi, I'm Vivek here, yes. Actually, I'm from Nepal, and I'm using Dan. Like I have more than 20 domains over there. We have the problem of payments, as someone from Bangladesh said, that we have like limitations on our credit cards. And we don't have PayPal, as well as we don't have even crypto support here. So I would like to have your attention, or I just want to make aware that we are people here who have some problems, and I would like you to take this thing to the concerned team over your company. Yeah,
definitely. No, it's good that you're telling this. But would Paysera be a solution for you, for example?
No, it's not Paysera. Actually, we don't have even Paysera here. So is it possible to make payments from our like bank, like maybe Swift code, or
Definitely. Yeah, we offer that already. So a bank wire or a SEPA transfer whatsoever can already be done.
Okay, great. Apart from that, like I have like here 300 dominers community. Like I'm creating the awareness in Nepal, and we are promoting Dan, as one of the number one place to sell the domains. So like
Glad to hear that.
we are trying that, and that is what I also wanted to let you know and inform about it. Yeah, thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. It's highly appreciated. And if there's anything I could share with you, if you have any questions to help you on that path, just let me know.
Sure, sure. I don't have anything as of now, but we'll be in contact if possible.
No problem.
Thank you.
So now we have Ayub here with us. Ayub, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you so much for your platform. Your platform is doing great job. Well, for me, I'm teaching Arab to invest in for Arab people, especially for outbound marketing. There is a lot of my audience using Dan also because I recommend that. I also recommend them to use and work on the Canadian market because Canadian buy a lot of domains, and most of my students are using Dan to close their deal. So why I'm the same person that I asked you to add the feature of adding the Canadian dollar, because a lot of my audience are also selling domain name using Dan, but they are forced to convert the currency from Canadian to US dollar and put it on that, which gets a lot of cost. There is some comparison between the currency. Okay, this is my request.
Yeah, I've made sure to write it down, Ayub, and I'll make sure to put it in with the finance department. They'll review it, and the coming Monday I'll have a directors meeting and I'll bring it up personally.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, do we have anyone else who wants to speak? Anyone else who wants to speak or you have questions? So we have one question in the Q&A section. How can we have our payments stored on Dan to enable us buy domains using it?
I'm so happy that you're asking this, Joshua. No, so far we've always made sure that you don't have an account balance because with some platforms you have to pay, of course, to get the payment out of your account as well. But we noticed that many of the sellers on the platform also started to buy domains, and we found that there's quite a need for an account balance as a seller. So you can't have it now, but just know it's on our roadmap, and we'll make sure to let everyone know through NamePros or any other platform that we use once it's that time and you can start using the account balance.
Okay, there's a question from user who has basically WhatsApped me. I got a WhatsApp. The traffic is very low on listed domains. Why traffic are low on good domain? I have the proof. I didn't get it actually. But why the traffic is low? They are asking.
The traffic is low?
Yeah, the traffic is low. Maybe they are having a good keyword, but the traffic is low.
No, that can't be the case because we have over 12 million unique visitors in 1 month already on the platform. It could be that the traffic is low due to the listing of the portfolio. If you're not parking, for example, then your domain can only be found through our search. And with over X million amount of names listed on the platform, you logically have to compete with quite some domains before it's found by someone. So if you really want to reap the benefits of using Dan.com, besides the transfer service or the features that we have, park the domains in order to make use of the traffic that we have as well. That's the only way to make sure that the traffic goes up. But if we get a personal message of the seller in question through the support desk that we have, we'll make sure to inspect the account and see what the reason is of the low traffic.
Okay. And another question is how to track the hit of landing page created on Dan for a specific domain. Like I think so they're asking for some kind of analytics so that I can track like from where, which IP I'm getting the traffic or from which country I'm getting the traffic. Something like analytics, Google Analytics, yeah.
That
Is it
was
possible?
mentioned.
Or you're basically considering that to develop in future?
I think Ayub also mentioned it as well.
Right.
You could link your analytics account if you want the specialized and detailed review of all the visitors that you have in combination with your accounts. We don't have anything on the roadmap yet, as far as I'm aware of, but
Okay.
I'll put it on this as well because I can understand that you might want to see that in your account as well. Yeah.
Right. That's it from my side. I got the 2 WhatsApp messages. Yeah.
So Joshua raised hand. I have allowed you to talk. You can unmute yourself and speak out.
Hi, Laszlo.
Hey, Joshua.
Yeah, so I actually wanted to speak in respect to the parking, using Bodhi's parking integration. So I was blocked by Bodhi's from parking because I usually do outbound for my names and all of that. And they say it is not in their policy to outbound names that are parked.
Okay.
And we work on dual names. So how can we actually market our names without outbounding? So I don't think the Bodhi's parking and outbounding works together. I think there is discord in that aspect.
I can imagine. Yeah, it's the first time that I've heard of it, and I'm not sure what the situation was and how Bodis communicated it to it, but we could touch base together to see what the cause is and what the discrepancy is when it comes to what is offered and how you should market your domains. I'm not familiar with this, so yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I could give you an answer straight away, but I'll make sure to reach out to you personally, Joshua.
I'll send you a mail. I'll forward the
Please.
mail I had with their, because what they said was that, the domain has been deleted for a while and all of a sudden it's having traffic. So it's against their policy for me to outbound names as are parked. So I'll forward it to you so we check what's exactly going wrong.
I'll make sure to dive into it with you.
Okay, no problem. Thanks.
Okay, so we have questions from Ayub. Do you have an option to withdraw money with the currency of the recipient country, let's say Moroccan dirham or Indian rupee?
No, unfortunately not. The only way that you could withdraw money from the account is the way you listed it for. So besides Bitcoins, you could always get a Bitcoin payout, but if you list the domain in USD, you'll get a USD payout. If you list the domain in euros, you'll get a euro payout. So depending on each one of the 3 currencies that we offer, you list your domains up for sale for, is going to determine how it's going to be paid out to you.
So we now have Utsav with us. Utsav, you can unmute yourself and speak out.
Yeah, hi Laszlo, how are you, man?
Hi, Utsav, I'm doing well. How about you?
Good. So I have 2 questions for you, but before that, I would like to thank you, on the behalf of the meaning community that, you spend the time with us and, you were very humble to answer all the questions. So I'll come.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
My pleasure.
So I have 2 questions for you. One, if someone, lists a trademark domain on Dan and the trademark owner, comes to you asking that, how can this domain is listed, then how do you tackle that situation? Do you ask the lister to remove that, or what do you do exactly in that case?
No, it's we're no legal settlement bureau. We're no legal specialists, so we won't have any say or any grounds to intervene when it comes to these legal questions. Let me make it clear to you and any other user: if you list a trademark domain for sale, in no way will we share any contact details of you with the inquirer or the one that is raising the dispute. I personally handle quite a lot of trademark inquiries when it comes to support. And I always ask them if they could provide some more information. I give them the option to either relay a message to the owner for them, so the owner can decide how to tackle it, how to deal with it, or tell them that they should raise a dispute with the owner himself or herself. That way we can make sure that we could just focus on the platform, you're not at risk, and we won't share any details.
Got you. Thank you. And second question, it's up to you if you would like to answer, but
Sure.
I heard about this case with Stanford. They raised a complaint. I hope you're aware about that, right? So would you like to share some update what exactly happened in that case? And,
in which case is that? Sorry?
Stanford complained on, Dan for the domain calculator.com, if you remember, stands for.
Yeah, I'm afraid that I cannot share anything.
No issues. Thank you.
I wish I could, but it was quite a strange way everything went. Yeah, we're still dealing with it. I can't go.
No issues, brother. I wish you best of luck. I hope you win the case. Thank you. Thank you, Diva. I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, so again, we have one more question in the Q&A section. So if someone lists an IDN domain, do you put a sign on the landing page that this domain is a IDN domain?
Yeah, we do differently. So you enter the puny code, of course, and we all know that if you list a domain for sale, you could decide for a normal domain if there's capitalized letters or not. With the IDN, if it's a symbol or perhaps a curved dan.com, as example, we always show an exclamation mark right next to the name. And if you hover over it, you'll see that what the puny code is and that it's an IDN domain. But it's always clear based on how the domain is presented that it's not a standard written domain.
So I think we are done with the question and answers, and no more question and answers yet. So Hitesh, would you like to say something?
Yeah, thank you, Laszlo, for being here, and thank you, audience, for being here and attending this webinar. But before I end this, I would like to basically request you all to share that funding program which we launched last week. Okay, it is basically a kind of grant to you guys, to you people who where DN School will be investing $1,400 straight with you, and you don't have to refund that. I've already cleared that thing to every one of you. So you know how to apply, you know how the program will work. If you have anything regarding that, please come up.
Hitesh, I think you can announce this once
Okay.
more, because Laszlo should also understand, like what we are doing for this, pandemic thing.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Actually, the last week we actually announced a funding program for upcoming domainers who have started or want to start their domaining journey in 2021. In this program, actually it's restricted to only South Asian region. And apart from that, Utsav also was kind enough to add some 15 domains to that. So in this, we were providing a total funding of $1,400 to these new domaining aspirants. Okay. And under this program, we will actually select 7 candidates from the list of the applicants. So far, we actually think we have received, I think so, 60 applications, and each selected person will get a funds of up to $200. Okay, so this will be chosen. These lucky 7 will be chosen on 30th June 2021 after the next Sunday's webinar. Okay, the selection will be actually will be through a random generator in front of live audience. Okay, and how to basically apply this is, like, we have a link, dnschool.org/fund program. If I'm not wrong, yeah, fund program. Yeah, you can basically go to that link, fill in your details, and before 20th of June, and be a part of this great program. The funding is only limited to, as I said, funding is only limited to residents of Indian subcontinent region, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Myanmar. And how this will work actually, the selected 7 will be have to find domains from the expired.net, expireddomains.net, GD closeouts, or any other list of source they have. They will get 30 days to basically find their names and select their names. They will come up with their names. They will email their names to us, and me, Jay, and other few experts will basically go through their list personally and have a one-to-one interaction with them, discuss their domains with them, their strategies, how they are going to sell those domains. Then we will register the domains for them and then transfer the domains to their account. So, and after that, each candidate will get approximately 10 to 11 months to sell the domains. Whether through inbound or outbound, it's 100% on them. Okay, and
so in a way, like we are, unique kind of education provider as
correct.
far as
Correct.
we are giving fund also, we are giving training also to sell the domain. We know in this pandemic, so many, people have lost their jobs. So, in this domaining world, it is, kind of easy to earn money by selecting good domains and selling them on platform like Dan, like, other platforms also. So, like, it's unique kind of thing, basically.
Yeah, but I have a complaint because this is not for in-house people like us.
Yeah, I agree with Divya.
This is not for fat, rich boy or girl.
I'm
not fat and I'm also not rich.
Fat nor rich.
Problem with funding.
Same for me.
I'm neither fat nor rich. This should be open to in-house people like us, isn't it, Laszlo? I think. Are you enjoying any benefits on Dan to sell the domain names? Are you being given?
No, unfortunately not. No.
That's really unfair on your part as well.
I'm gonna file a complaint as well, I think.
And I would like to add also, the great feature of this domain, this program is that if you are not able to sell the domains, you don't have to refund the money to us. It's totally our loss, actually, DN school loss. Okay, but if you succeed, then we will take 70% from your net sale. You will take 70%. Yeah, you will take 70% for your net sales, actually. Okay. We will take the 30% from you. And if this program succeeds, then definitely we'll come up with a bigger program than that. And maybe next time we'll be open to basically to the DN school members and to the experienced domainers also. So that's it from my side. Yeah, over to you, Divya.
Thank you, Hitesh. Thank you for your words. And now, Jason, I request you to add on something from your side for today's session.
See, for me, it was an insightful session today's, Laszlo. It was fantastic. And I'm getting personal message also. Today's session was so good. We have learned so many things. People, they were using Dan from last 1 year, but they have learned today something new. And same applies for me also, because this was new for me, like you are accepting Bitcoins.
Yeah, I'm glad we could share some new things.
But I'm waiting for Dan too, actually. I want to see their interface.
So am I.
Yeah,
so am I.
I had enough of Dan version 1. Now I want to see Dan 2.
I'm really glad when I can finally announce when it's going to get launched, but it's
looking forward.
It's a suspense. Yeah, I'll keep you guys posted.
And coming on to you, Laszlo, thank you first of all, thank you for the session. Thank you for being here. And it was really great to witness the participants also involving themselves into the session. And the best thing about the session has been that we had been witnessing regional diversity, having audience from such different countries watching us and attending the session. So obviously from the South Asian countries and Algeria as well, some from the Arab countries as well. So before we come to the end of the session, I would like you to conclude the session by saying a few words, whatever you would like to say to the participants and the Dan users here, and obviously the audience on the Facebook Clubhouse and Zoom as well.
Now, I really want to thank everyone for taking the time to visit this. In my personal confession, this is the first webinar I've seen and experienced from the DN School, and looking at the interactiveness of all the participants, the way that you communicate with each other, and the amount of questions asked, my hats off to all of you. I think it's a really great initiative, and I'm really hoping that each and every one of you is going to sell all those domains that Hitesh was referring to. And if you're having difficulties, always reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to help you, at least on our platform, to become successful when it comes to it. But again, thank you for having me, and I personally had a blast doing this.
Thank you, Laszlo, but don't forget to file the complaint to Dan to withdraw the benefits.
Yeah.
Okay, so with this, we come to an end of the session. Once again, I thank all the participants, our speaker Laszlo, and the co-founders of DN School, Jay Paudel and Hitesh Wadhwa. So let's hope for further sessions like this again in the near future. And we shall meet again on 13 June, especially with the announcement of the fund program, the winners of the fund program. So let's meet then and there. Thank you all for the day. Good night. Over.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.